Welcome back, everyone, to a CDL in-depth where we take a few plays over the weekend and we discuss what was either trolled, thrown, or could have been done differently. I'm here with Quaddy. My name's Aaron, as always, and we are going to be talking about this Vegas Legion meltdown. It happens all the time. There's a lot of them to choose from. It's a pattern, but this one specifically could have been prevented with some communication or in-game leadership. I'm not sure. I'm going to run over the play first, and then we're going to discuss it. So if you watch the mini map here, you can see that the Legion take control of this hill. They take the lead and they get a full hold here, essentially with 40 seconds. As the hill progresses, NYSL has spawns for next. They decide to hit the hill again, and they go 4 down right here. So you'll see there's 1, 2, 3, and here goes 4. At this point, what do we do? Quaddy, what do you do in this point?
I'm pushing out. I'm rotating.
And
I'm leaving. I'm saving at least maybe 1 or 2 people on the point, but I'm rotating.
Exactly. We are not pro players, and you can see Temp is the only player. You can see the 5 down there in the bottom corner. His arrow, when he spawned up and he saw that 4 down, went straight for the next point. He's the only one. I don't know if he's not calling out at this point. I don't know who is the in-game leader for them, but a mistake is made right here that cost them the game. There's only 25 seconds left on this hill. It's going to take NYSL 10 to 15 seconds to break it and gain that time. And if we continue here, you can see that Proloot was maybe trying to rotate out top bed, but he throws a trophy right there. If you're rotating to next to try to win the game, you're not throwing a trophy on those bottom steps. He wins this gunfight and then decides,
now go back.
And yeah, exactly. And now go hit across top cat, get to your point where 5, look at 5 is already on the next point.
Right. Well, and it's like, subliners can't win off 18 seconds. You're not winning off 18 seconds. It's going to come down to the next hill. I'd rather be early rotated and just try to hold the next hill than have to run, fling my body at it, and break the next hill.
Exactly. And if you can see, there's 2 major mistakes about to happen. One, it's already happening. You can see Temp. He's on hill instead of hitting into kitchen. As far as I know, kitchen spawns is what you want on this next hill. And he has it for free right now and doesn't take it. And then you'll see 6. You'll see Clayster spawn up here in a second. And instead of hitting out the back street and going to support Temp, he decides to hit mid. So right here, Proloot still, I don't even know what he's doing. He is in the worst place possible as far as I know. And then Clayster turns and decides to chow point right here instead of just hitting out the back street and being there with Temp. And because of how these fights break down, you now have 2v1 on New Hill, NYSL, and those arrows both turn and go right to where they need to. You can see the clear communication differences between a good team and a bad team. But here you go. Clay gets picked, and now it is game over. There is very little that can happen from this point forward that NYSL lose this game. And we'll just let it play out here. But there you go. You have 3v1 at New, and you're spawning 10 seconds away from the hill. And then there you go. Game over right there. No matter what happens, your Gunny would have to be godlike to now win the game.
Right. And I don't understand what Temp's rotation in mind. Like, yeah, he rotated, but he wasn't even on the hill.
No, and he's there. Let's go back. Let's go back to when he gets there. Let's go back to when he gets there. So he starts rotating now, which is perfect. This is a perfect play out of Temp. He stops right here, roughly.
Right.
With 19 seconds left on hill, and then he never moved again. He stayed in that position for, I think, 30 seconds of game time. Like, you need to be making moves and plays. And I think, and like I said, I didn't hear anything in the in-game comms, or I don't know what's wrong with Legion, but this screams in-game leader to me. Whoever is choosing to tell people what to do or what they're calling out in the game right now is broken, and they need to fix it.
Right. Well, and like, they must not have had like notes on where any intel on where any NYSL people are, because if I was Proloot there, if you back it up, he has a free rotation running across cat, and he probably kills Kit's couches here. You know, if you
absolutely.
After he gets this kill, if he
absolutely
if he runs across cat, he's rotated there with Temp, and he could probably pick 2 and 4 maybe not 4, but 2 for sure from couches.
Yeah, or he could even go the route of look down at those players, have trigger discipline, and realize if he went straight cat, he sees 2 players going to ult, he doesn't even have to pull the trigger. He can move to that kitchen area and win spawns and win the game for his team.
Right.
In general, right now the communications should be TJ screaming. They're still on point with me. One's contesting and someone else just threw. 2 NYSL minimum are on old, and there's 15 seconds left. Go to the next hill. Period.
Right. Well, and there's zero reason that Paris Legion lose this game, because I just now realized that ProLoot has a cruise.
Yeah, he uses it on this hill to try to break this hill, but trying to break final hill, their trophies are going to be down. He ends up getting a kill with it. We'll let this hill play out. But I firmly believe there's not much you can do beyond this point to win this game. So we can watch this hill play out. ProLoot calls that cruising when he spawns up here, hoping to break. He ends up getting a kill with it, but having those spawns in kitchen for NYSL, you're just going to be nonstop fight. And then they lose a couple gunfights here.
Yeah, I mean,
and there you go. They end up getting the flip, but it's too late.
The only thing that possibly could have happened there is if TJ went to reloaded.
Yeah,
bullets left, but then he still got shot in the back, obliterated. It's like, this is exactly what Paris Legion should have done. Is what the subliners are doing. They got control of kitchen for next. They're pushing from the back. Look at, they go 4 dead. Paris. It
literally would have been the exact flipped script if ProLoot hits out cat and gets into that kitchen and Temp's already on next point. Yeah, it would have absolutely happened opposite of what we're watching.
Right. This game would have been done and over with already. Paris didn't need that much. I just don't understand that. And New York, New York's push to old really didn't make sense to me either.
No, yeah, this was a mistake by New York by not leaving someone in kitchen. But unfortunately, Vegas just couldn't take advantage of it. They just couldn't find. They decided to try to hold for that last 15, and I am a huge proponent of making sure to grab time when you can. At any point in time, someone should always be on a hill, ready to grab time. But you shouldn't have 3 players fighting for 10 seconds, as we can see here. You should have 1 or 2. And if they get killed, it's a 10-second rotation in X hill for whoever killed him. And you know where he's coming from, and you know where a player is. And now at this point, you don't know where they are. You have an idea that they spawned up kitchen, but as we've seen later in this hill, right here, the Legion spawn in P1. So you have an idea of where they should be, but not an exact one. If you would have just let that hill go, you would have been in control and you win. But like I said, the Legion are a good team on paper. They got veterans like Clayster. They could definitely put this together. We'll just see if anything changes between now and LAN. But let's move on to another in-depth play here. All right, the next play I want to break down is not so much a play like we did with Vegas here, but the absolute dominance that FaZe displays on this Mercado hardpoint. It was very back and forth. It looked like it was going to be a 250, 240 finish. We get to a point where, so it's back and forth here between FaZe and LAG until this hill here. From this hill forward, LAG hold it for the most part, but on this next rotation and from that point forward, LAG does not get a single second the rest of the game, and I think we need to highlight that. The plays from FaZe, the holds from FaZe. I know I'm very confused by this map and the spawns, but it is obvious and clear that if you are playing FaZe this weekend at the Major, this should be an automatic ban for them. They have this figured out. Here we are, 102.59, this hill pops, and like I said, LAG will not get another tick the rest of this game.
The spawns on this map are confusing, but definitely not to FaZe. They are funneling these people. They're funneling LAG through wherever the hell they want to.
Yeah, they take complete control here. they're winning every gunfight, which obviously in this game matters more than ever. If you're slaying, you're winning for the most part. Florida earlier in this week lost winning a slaying at hardpoint, but that's another story. FaZe is clinical. I don't know any highlight moment other than Celium absolutely frying. He goes on a 9 streak in the middle of this. You can see Slashers on a 5 right now. They have rotation. Rinse and repeat, and they're unable to be broken. This top grandma and this bottom grandma hard, points are almost impossible to break as it is.
Yeah, I mean these are just absolute money hills. I mean, you have to rotate early for it. You saw FaZe in that rotation rotate early for it, and they held old with 1 or 2 people. So, I mean, this is just clinical. Like, if you guys have time to watch this map fully audio on, staring at the spawns, I mean, clinical.
Absolutely. Like you said earlier, why are we hitting hill with 20 seconds left? And you can see FaZe, there they are over in garage area, getting ready for next rotation already. They leave 2 on old to fight, and with 20 seconds left, FaZe on the clock. 20 seconds left, they're on rotation, picking up kills and making sure they are putting LAG exactly where they want them on the map.
Right, and like with LAG here, I mean, you just got chained on with 2 full 60s. Like, if there's 20 seconds left and we had just got chained on with 2 full 60s, I am screaming at 25 seconds to rotate. Like, you need some momentum, you need a lockdown, you need time, you need something other than
you need a reset
right into Slasher and Celium.
Absolutely. A reset is extremely important. If they rotate early with all 4 of them, they were up. If they decide to rotate garage and take a 4v2 fight in garage and win it, maybe that's the moment they turn this game around. But you can see that it's a lot of 1v3 LA, like this spawn right here. Like, I cannot believe a BZ's there to pick those people up, and then there he is on point for next. They have now chained 3 full 60s in a row, and there's no way to stop them. Even right now, you can see FaZe is extremely spread out, but they're still just losing these gunfights. Not if I'm LAG here, I'm not expecting a BZ to be back street when I know that there's 2 on old, but here he is absolutely frying.
Right. I mean, just look at how much momentum that gave a BZ. I mean, they chained 2 or 3 hills together, and a BZ is just like, fuck it, I'm running.
Absolutely. And then here we are. There's a couple seconds to be had, maybe by LAG, and they lose a gunfight. And it's a wrap. The FaZe get the time necessary here at the end and clutch this one up. But to be up 102 to 59 and then lose 250 to 102, 1, you're in a blender, and 2, you are not making the proper decisions to get out of it. And it's the downfall of LAG, because we've seen them absolutely dominate on these searches against FaZe. They end up coming short in the map 5, but they had a 4-0 lead in that map 5. So LAG in their experience is going to carry them in through this major, and I would not be surprised to see them win maps and games that no one is going to give them a chance on.
Right, and like prior to this, I mean, they're a great hardpoint team. When they switched their roster, I mean, I don't think they went a long time without losing a hardpoint. This might even been the first hardpoint that they did lose.
This is the first hardpoint they did lose, because they won the break off.
Just a breakdown of what happened. And I mean, if it wasn't for them holding grandmas that entire time, holding bottom grandmas for that first rotation, it would have been even worse.
Absolutely. They started out this game on the right track, but whatever FaZe knows, LAG did not. And it's something to be looked at, but maybe I wasn't listening to the broadcast on this. I'm not sure of LAG's stats on Mercado, if maybe they were just feeling good and didn't ban it and hope they could pull something off or learn something. But if I'm LAG getting this hard beat, that's probably an auto ban for me. And if you're playing FaZe this weekend, Mercado's an auto ban for my hard point, if you ask me. Their embassy is good, but it looks, there's chinks in the armor. They lost one already, so it's something to look at.
I could pull it up too, but I'm fairly certain that the Academy team, which was this Gorilla's team, Diamond Con for Arcities, they beat FaZe on a Mercado hardpoint. I'm assuming that's why they got it put through.
It's possible, yes.
But I am looking right now. Yeah, they beat them 250 to 156.
Wow.
The Academy team did. I mean,
the Academy team beat this FaZe team.
Beat this FaZe team, yeah.
Wow.
You had Assault exceeded, Diamond Con went off. 2 people positive for FaZe.
Apparently they
dropped a 0.52.
Apparently they trained FaZe very well during that map. And this is honestly what sets FaZe apart for me from anyone else in the league, and why you can never count them out, is just their ability to adapt. They got beat by an Academy team, and they didn't just go, oh, bad luck. They didn't just chalk it. They took notes from it and they applied it, and it absolutely paid off in the long run.
Right, for sure.
It's something FaZe is extremely good at, making decisions, changes, and always able to turn it around.
And they're not making mistakes.
Never making the big mistake. They're never making the big mistake.
Right.
That's an in-depth look at the absolute beat down that this hardpoint became. FaZe would go on to win this series in a round 11. The Arcities v FaZe, the Slasher v ALAG Revenge Game Tour was an awesome match to watch. If you have some time, go back and look at it. But let's move on to one last in-depth look, and there's no other play from this weekend than OPTIC clutching the reverse sweep. Let's get into it. As we move ahead here to the absolute chaos that is P6 and ultimately the last hill of the game, I gotta back it up a little bit further.
I mean, we can play this in 0.5 speed and watch it 6 times, and you still really won't know what happened.
No, this is number 4 is absolutely trying to keep these kitchen spawns. Stellium knows that, and he's trying to stay inside of kitchen. And as we progress through this hill, OPTIC starts with the hill as well as spawns. Kind of. Cellium is being a massive thorn in their side for that. But they have a
spawn there, or was he just hitting mid?
I believe he was just hitting mid.
Oh, okay. I don't like that play.
Yeah, he was already there. He won a fight, and then he stayed mid. And then he goes couches to try to pick anyone crossing to bedroom. It makes sense. It's a standard play, yeah. As we see this simp streak will be talked about for a millennia. As you can see, there is a trophy in between Illy and Shotzi. Illy ends up getting shot, but I'm not convinced this cruise didn't hurt him as well. But Shotzi thinks he's so safe. He's sitting in that corner, big ol' head on his shoulders, like, I'm safe. Look at my trophy. The streak comes through and absolutely fries him. And it opens up the door for the finish that we get. So as you can see, Slasher hops on time right here, and they only need a few seconds. He takes the standard corner up on the deck. As Cellium loses his gunfight, OPTIC gets their spawns that they need. Illy spawns in kitchen. His very first instinct is to jump up on top waterfall here, and it's Slasher's mistake to be in the standard spot. So they'll switch to Slasher's view here. He's hugging that little cabana box for cover. If he's 2 feet to the right here, you see the planter in front of him, you see the chairs. Illy does not get this kill, and it is game over. However, Slasher, making just a standard play instead of the big head play, gets picked by Illy right here, and then it's just a chaos. I'm gonna let it play through once, and we'll go back and forth throughout. It's pick after death. Just absolute insanity to end this game. I want to see Cellium leave kitchen, and I want to see Dashy rotate and see what actually happened. Oh, Dashy died. He's in spawn because I bet he spawns up there. Yep. So you can see Dashy spawn. Yeah, it's because Cellium's in kitchen. 5 is in kitchen, which spawns out, but still, I can't believe that either. It's just
Cellium hopped up on the what we call bug. I think what people call brick. And he got
up
there, and he kills Illy there bottom bed. So he was
Absolutely.
already out of kitchen. I'm assuming that Celium's trying to rotate. He doesn't think there's anybody behind him that
Yeah,
he's going to get time.
He's still inside that ledge, inside waterfall right here, and he should know Slasher is alone on point because they know where everyone is. They killed 2. Simp is about to know Dashy is in the spa.
The only thing I can think right now is Simp is screaming that they spawned out.
True.
Simp goes,
Celium knows someone's back here, and he's looking for him. And right here, FaZe have to think that they just won the game. If Celium wins this gunfight, they win the game. If Slasher's 2 feet to the right, they win the game. If 6 and 7 decide to go like bottom bed or through bedroom door instead of valet stairs, they win the game. They do everything but what wins them the game here.
Simp went bottom bed here. Crazy gunfight went out of Hook. But Simp goes bottom bed and doesn't go to time. You need 2 seconds. I mean, you can't think that Slasher dies here, but after you see, you know, if you click through this slowly, I mean, Illy does kill him, but a grenade blows up like right now, and there's no trophy. And Illy had him weak. Pretty sure grenade blows up like really soon.
Yep, it just blew up right here. Yep.
Is the only thing I can think of.
I like this play by Simp being bottom bed though. Because I like this area to pick anyone jumping vans, pick anyone trying to cross to back steps. Simp's in a good spot. I just wish a BZ would have came out, because if BZ comes out the bedroom door right here and is on time instead of in that same spot that Slasher is, he's got cover. He doesn't get picked. Nades are going deep. I don't know who kills him. Illy on the jump up kills him. Illy doesn't kill him right there. If he's close, you know, bedroom corner instead, where Dashy ends up winning the game from.
Right, and that's another thing that Simp could have done too, is they could have both hit top. Like if Simp runs out the bedroom door and a BC runs out the outer, you have all your bases covered.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, I like the play out of Simp. I just don't like the play when you need 2 seconds to win.
True. And then as we see, Optic gets the jump up. They get on time. They're supporting properly. They're taking different angles. And that's, I mean, Hook loses this gunfight, but leaving Celium literally 1 bullet is huge. The trophy doesn't go far enough. So ultimately, even if Cell wins these gunfights, he dies to a nade because this trophy doesn't stop him. It is just absolute chaos. Cell needs to be the first one to jump here, like the broadcasters were saying, because Slasher's full health. Cell needs to be the first one to die here to Dashy so that Slasher can contest him. And instead, we end up with a 2-piece from Dashy, who caps off an absolutely heroic map 4.
Map 4, yeah. And what a crazy 2 lives by Slasher. I mean, he spawns in, runs to the point, tries to grab the 2 seconds that he needs, can't get it. Runs to the point again, trying to grab the 2 seconds. Dolphin dives on and gets shot again. I mean, it's crazy. I mean,
this is so far, you know, game of the year for me.
But yeah, I mean, well, and even there at the end with FaZe, I mean, there's more spots to get on the hill. I mean, they hit that outer spot every single time. They did what Optic did in the last hill. They just hit that outer spot, like.
Yeah, I don't think FaZe ever went through top bed door to chal anything, and it may be one of the, you know, the pro things. There's plenty of times where us plebs are like, oh, it's obvious, chow from there. But when you're playing against pros, that spot is just a death sentence. Maybe that's the case. I would like to lean that way because it is FaZe not making that decision when it seems like the clear-cut obvious one.
Right, but the only other thing is you know, FaZe was going through a death spot anyway. So
sure.
I mean, they didn't get any kills out of that other than Celium absolutely ripping Hook off the back heady, but
Hook did what he needed to do and was left Cell literally 1 HP. Right. As we look at the box score, you can see the Dashy is rising as Scumped would hope, stepping down to bring him back to the team. And I am very excited to see Optic Texas take the main stage this weekend. Well, I guess we go to the brackets of the standings. Who are you picking to come out of winners?
I don't know. I mean, I hope Optic beats Thieves. I'm confident that Optic will beat Thieves. We finally get to see XEO back on land together. The only question mark for me is, you know, Optic haven't played Sunblinders yet this year, so I don't know how that, is going to play out. Can Shotzi keep up with Hydra? Can Optic shut Hydra down? Obviously, I want to say that Optic makes it out of winners, but I think we might have a repeat of the winners finals from last major, which is Subliners Ultra. So
Yeah, I am extremely worried as a Optic fan with this first matchup. The Thieves and Optic, it just, no matter how bad or good each team is a map 5 round 11 burner, and craziness is going to ensue. I would love to see Optic win, but if they lose this first winners round 1, it's not going to surprise me. They are technically a brand new roster. As much as they've played in the past together, Hook and Dashy have not played together in how long. This is a new team, and with the podcast coming out, Rambo is not the coach. So they are coached by someone new. The roster is all new, and I would not be surprised to see Optic falter on their first game in LAN and then make a losers run of all losers run would be my hope. But this league is absolutely insane. I'm gonna pick Optic to win against Thieves. I'm gonna pick Subliners to beat Rocker. I'm going LAG over Ultra, even though they just lost to them, going from a qualifier game to LAN and learning a lot from that match and then being your next play. I think LAG can rebound. Their search looked so good against FaZe. I think they'll be able to take Toronto. And then FaZe coming out of that Boston Breach game, I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, me too. I mean, Boston looks really good online, but them and Optic were, on early flights home last major off of LAN, so...
Absolutely. If there's a team here that you're going to pick to make a run down this losers bracket and maybe upset some of the favorites, who do you think it would be out of these 4 teams?
Oh, I think it's without a doubt 1,000% Seattle Surge.
Absolutely. I am 100% in agreement with you. As bad as Vegas Legion are, the fact that they're losing every single clutch moment gives me a bit of optimism for the team, because they're there for the clutch moment. Right. To lose it. If just a coin flip or a spawn goes their way, they could possibly pull it off. I wouldn't be surprised to see them upset someone. But yeah, absolutely without a doubt, Surge and Pred. I mean, ultimately, Pred absolutely frying the field and being the difference maker for that team.
If you're an Optic fan, I'd rather play Surge than Mutineers, because Optic cannot play Florida on land. So it's heartbreaking every time that Optic has to play Florida, and just know maybe in the back of your mind that
maybe it's a Scump hex. Maybe the Scump's not there. The curse can be broken. Maybe that's what it was.
Dave Patty is Scump's dad. So
yeah, apparently.
I guess that's all we can hope for. So hey. Who's winning the whole thing?
Oh, you want to pick that now?
Well, I mean, early, before any matches even start. Well, I mean, we'll do our predictions each day, but who's winning the whole thing right now?
My inner fan wants it desperately to be Optic, but I think I'm going to end up going Subliners. I think Subliners come out on top.
All right, Subliners back to back.
I think so. I mean, they didn't do anything in these qualifiers that make me think that they're gonna drop, too much of their gap between the next team, and it's just one of those things. It's hard to pick against the previous champion when they won it so handily.
Right. Yeah. I as of right now, I think I'm gonna pick FaZe. Honestly, I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, we saw how well, bringing it up earlier, that they went from losing to the LAG Academy team on Mercado to absolutely, I mean, crushing them. I think they learned from their loss to Optic, and I think they kind of bounce back as of now. But I am truly an Optic fan, and I very, very much wish that Optic would win this. But FaZe looks, I mean, they look good. So
Yeah, I'll put it in these terms. If Optic wins, there will be no surprise. I will be screaming at the top of my lung because honeymoon periods exist. Dashy is a beast. Shotzi is a magician. Absolutely love the roster, but my fears of it being also new together, that they're not going to be able to pull it together in just a couple of key areas that'll end up costing them in the long run. And that's the only reason I'm already picking them for Major 3. Let's put it that way. I'm already marking them down as the winner for Major 3. They'll have it all put together by then. They'll have an entire qualifiers under their belt, under one roof, with no changes.
Last time COD was in the Optic esports arena, Optic came out on top. So I will go with you. I'll put my lockdown for Optic winning Major 3 as well.
Awesome. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's get out of here. Let's get ready and excited for tomorrow's matches. But for now, thank you all for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and make sure we'll be bringing CDL content the rest of the season. So if you want to get caught up or be in the loop, go ahead and subscribe. Until next time, we'll see you later.